start saying, I hate this place. I hate this place. I'm the only one in Medjugorje saying, I hate this place. I had to, when you look back at it, I had to look possessed. So they said, go behind the church and your tour guide will meet you. Well, they can't get me behind the church fast enough. So traveling with us is Janie. They went to grammar school together. They made their first communion together. They were flower girls together. They made crowning together. You know, they went all to school together, and her name was Anne. And Anne was a school teacher, and she taught 3rd grade. So she was used to dealing like with little bratty kids, you know. So she comes up to me and she goes, you want to look at some souvenirs? So like, yeah, anything. So I got this big cast on. At those time, 1987, they had like those trailers with all the, 1,000 rosaries and water bottles. That's all they had. Standing out there. So I start walking up. And I start walking my way over there when all of a sudden, I see about all these people looking up. It's about 80 people. They're all in a circle. They're looking up. And I look up. And I see this disc spinning. And it's spinning. It starts pulsating. It starts changing colors, coming down. So I turned to Ann and I said, what's that? And Ann is just the good cradle Catholic. And this woman turns around and she goes, that is the miracle of the sun. Well, she started it because she yelled at me first, you know. So I looked at her and I said, get real, lady. That can't be the sun. If it was the sun, you couldn't look at it. There is the miracle of the sun. I said, Ann, you couldn't look at the sun. That's like they're shooting a laser up there or something. I mean, I've been in rock and roll. They got laser lights and they got light shows and everything. Somebody's doing a light show here or something. And she said, oh, well, if that's helping their faith. So, Ann, come on, man. So they can't get me out of there fast enough. So finally I said, come on. Your tour guide's here. Come on. You're going to your house. I got 5 minutes left. Uh-oh. So anyway, we go back to the house, and I guess that's where the piece starts, but I won't go there. One bathroom. So the next day we go, and guess where we're going to go? Go to church. So we wait everybody to get together. You got to get titi, tata, hutu, bata together because you can't go by yourself. You all got to go together, right? So you start going up, and we're going up the hill of apparition. And we're going up the hill. So I go up the hill, and everybody's praying, and nobody's talking to me. And nobody's talking to me. So I go up the hill, and I'm ashamed to tell you this, but I will tell you that my first prayer was, well, look, Lord, if there is anything to this, I could use some money. So I get up to the top. I look around, very nice. Nobody's talking to me. They're all talking to themselves, saying their rosary and everything. So I go back down, and I get down, and I see this little cafe right there, and right at the foot of Apparition Hill, and I pull in there, and I put my foot up there, and I was just resting. And here comes the tour guide. She said, hurry up now. Hurry up. I said, hurry up for what? She said, we got to climb the mountain. I said, I just did that. Oh, no. She said, that's a hill. I said, well, you got to climb the mountain. She goes, the visionaries are going to be there. This is the anniversary. And Our Lady is going to give a message to the whole world. I said, you knew that this morning? She said, yeah. I said, why are you telling me that now? Why you got us climbing 2 mountains in one day? It's not like we're going to run out of fun things to do. What do you want me to do? Wrap it up? get the hook. Anyway, I get up there, and as I get up there, all these people are pushing, getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. They're trying to get close to the cross. They want to go to the cross. They're going to go see the Blessed Mother. Now think about this. These people are going to the Blessed Mother. They're going to go see the Blessed Mother. They're trying to kill people to get there. And there's women, like there's Italian women. I mean, if their elbows didn't get you, the perspiration did, you know? And they pushed themselves out the way, and they got up there, and I'm standing back. And so help me God, this was my prayer. Dear Blessed Mother, dear Jesus, don't show yourself tonight. If one of these nuts think they see you, we all going off this mountain. So please let me be one of those people who have not seen and yet believe. That was my prayer. It got quiet. Now, what I didn't tell you, because they got me rushing, what's Guy want to do? You don't know? Anyway, I have to tell you this. I have to tell you this. As I was going up that mountain, when I first got there, you have to understand, you know, it's like I'm like looking at all these people, and I thought that was like a laser show and all. And I have to tell you, there was people running around saying, look, my rosary turned gold, my rosary turned gold, look at the leaves, they turned gold, they turned gold. Not real gold, but gold color. I saw it. Plenty of people in my house had that happen. So I would go down at night, because of one bathroom. And I'd wait till everybody got out, and I'd go into the bathroom, and I'd look in the mirror, and I'd go like that. And I'd look at the hairs in my nose to see if they were gold. Because I thought they were spraying something in the air. And I was breathing it. It would stick to the hairs of my nose. And I'd figure this out. So now, when I get to the, I'm trying to tell this in a hurry, there's another, you can get a copy of this. It's called No Phones in Medjugorje. But as I start up the mountain, all of a sudden I look at these people, and I start seeing these people, and they're going up barefoot, and they're going up on their knees, and they're carrying people. And I start getting waves of guilt, and I thought, what kind of faith would you have to do something like this? And of course, nobody's talking to me because they're all praying to them. So. And I looked at them and I said, I know what's wrong with you. You don't have any faith. And I wanted to pray. Oh, I knew, you know, not me lay me down to sleep, you know, the Lord's Prayer, the blessing. I really didn't know how to pray, but I wanted to pray. So I began to walk up, and I told them, my friends, I said, well, I'll start going up. Now, remember, I got this big cast. I said, I'll start going up. And when I get so far up that I can't go any farther, I'll just sit at the Stations of the Cross and wait for y'all to come back down. Well, it was kind of deceiving. I started making it up pretty good. And I got around to the third station. And when I got around to the third station, that's when I really, really wanted to pray. And I was so impressed by this people's faith. So I said this very simply. Hear me. Very simply, but very sincere. I knew I was all messed up here. And I said, dear God, heal my head. Heal my head. Ran with this big cast. I know I'm sick up here. And I get up to the fourth station. When I get up to the fourth station, my friends say, let's take a break. I'm like, oh, thank God. They want to take a break. I find a big rock. I back up. I put my foot up on a rock to rest. And here comes this monk with a white robe on, walking directly towards me, looking right at me. And he says, you know, when I was in Germany, I'm like, who's this nut? Who's he talking to?